Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 2 and the final day of the AREWA Tech Fest, which is being hosted here in Katsina State at the Continental Events and Sports Center. We are most obliged by your presence and your commitment to this historic event. I will quickly give a recap of what has been happening in the past 2 days. On the day 0, only master classes took place, and we had about 8 sessions where a lot of topics have been discussed around startups, technology, and innovation. Also, topics in the area of policy and governance were also discussed. Yesterday, we have listened to the address by His Excellency Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, CON, the convener for the AREWA Tech Fest. And we also listened to an address by the Director General of Katsina Directorate of ICT, Malam Naufal Ahmad. And then we also listened to a keynote by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Zamfara State, who was heavily represented by the ES Zidda. There was also a keynote address by the Honorable Minister for Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Dr. Boshun Tijani. And after that, we witnessed a bit of an entertainment. And then we swiftly moved into the first panel, which was titled Empowering Innovation, Building a Thriving Tech and Startup Ecosystem in AREWA. And after which, there was a breakout session, which was facilitated by Sabu Capital and Sudo Africa. And His Excellency Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, the convener, also announced the next state to host the AREWA Tech Festival, which is Zamfara State. We'll also listen to Abubakar Noor Khalil, the Chairman CEO of Recursive Capital, where he talked about the future of finance, Bitcoin, and crypto. There was also a presentation by MTN Nigeria, and then we went ahead to listen to the AREWA Agri-Tech panel with the theme Smart Farming, Tech for Food Security and Growth. I thought that panel was one of the most interesting panels because even after the panels, the audiences were sending questions. And immediately after that, the sessions rounded up, and we are here today to round up the summit. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start with a knowledge session, and it's going to be delivered by Mr. Issa Raphael, MD CEO, Graysoft, and the topic for his presentation is immersive technologies. Please put your hands together and let's welcome Mr. Issa Raphael. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the former governor of Kaduna State, and all distinguished gentlemen here, captains of industry, leaders of MDAs, I just want to beg your permission to stand on existing protocol since yesterday, if that's all right. Good morning. Good morning. Inakwananku. Sounds good. I'm just hoping that we had a great time since yesterday. We've had a wonderful time. Is that true? If that's fine, let's see those hands go up. Okay, awesome, amazing. My name is Isa Raphael, just like you've heard, and I am the leader of everything that happens at Grace of Technology. But I'm excited to be here because of what we're doing here and what it represents for the North entirely. But today we're going to look at something that is truly exceptional and something that really puts the North on the map. Okay? Now that said, I'm just going to jump straight in. Just like you may have heard, when the music changes, so must the dance. When the music changes, not so will or so should the dance, but so must the dance. For those of you who are creatives here and you understand a thing or two about music, you understand the genre of reggae and maybe that of pop. You can't dance a pop dance with a reggae beat. It won't just go. You can't dance an Afrobeat dance on a reggae beat. And so what we have seen over the last few years is a disruption that has happened in technology. And just like you know, technology has become a part of our everyday lives. And so it dictates how we do things. It dictates how we see things. It dictates how we respond to things. Right? So from the concept, from the influx of Web 1, Web 2, and now Web 3, we are seeing a rapid disruption in artificial intelligence. But before that, we saw what COVID did. COVID came in at 2020 thereabout and began to change how we do business, change how we hold meetings, change how we behave entirely. And so in that context, we can say that the music changed. Okay? And so while this meant a disaster for some, it meant an entire economic and behavioral shift for many. Okay? And so what we see happening today is that the mindsets of people will have changed. People are lazier and people are crazier. And of course, people have very short attention span. And because of that, as we build products, they must be entertaining, so to speak. They must be products that go straight to the point, but more importantly, they must be products that, have convenience attached to them. And because our behavioral thinking has changed, we're looking at the concept of what I'm about to speak on today. I have just about 30 minutes, and I'll go straight to the point. So I'm speaking to you today on the topic I have themed Gamifying the Future Economy, Unlocking Participation, Driving Rewards, and Powering Sustainability. And indeed, I have interesting case studies for us today. Well, why gamify the economy? Why gamify the economy? You will agree with me that there's a growing phenomenon, there's a growing acceptance of what we call today the young people, what you like to call the Gen Z. Okay? The way they relate and react to things today is completely different from how we used to do it. I'm not that old, by the way, right? But times have changed. And so, because of the short attention span that we have, indeed, things that follows the pattern of a gamified nature is what grabs attention for them. And indeed, 78% of Gen Zs engaged with gamified platform daily. If you see any young people right here pressing their phones or looking at something, it is probably on a platform that has something to do with engaging a gamified experience. In terms of market growth, we have the global gamification market at $12.9 billion in 2021, and is projected to reach about $58 billion by 2028. And of course, the core element of gamification includes behavior, reward, and data. Nobody wants to participate in anything that does not clearly spell what the rewards are. In our times, and for those older than us, it was simpler to just for people to, for example, intern. Okay? So people are able to, in our time, go to organizations and say, look, I'm willing to be an intern with you. I'm willing to work for free, and gain some experience as a result to boost my resume, just so that I probably will get ahead, with something to put on my resume. But you see, that does not happen with Gen Zs nowadays. How many of you agree? How many of you are employers here? That does not readily happen. Your Excellency, that does not readily happen with Gen Zs nowadays. And again, the music has changed. The power of gamification is such that it drives engagement, it fosters innovation, and it encourages responsible action. And because of that, and cultural storytelling, as a matter of fact, under the leadership of Your Excellency here in 2022, Kaduna State became the first subnational government to hold its summit in the metaverse. I think Your Excellency deserves a round of applause here. Yes, and it was really interesting because you had people who participated in that summit. It was Kadinvest, 7 point. And it seemed, up until now, it's the last Kadinvest that Kaduna has been able to pull off. It's been hard to replicate it, right? And so he then earned himself the name The Disruptor. And that's why we're excited to be a part of everything that he convenes. Two case studies here we'll be really looking at. The first of which is the Carbon Curb project. And these are projects that we are directly responsible for. So very recently, sometime last year, NMPC, had introduced what they call their sustainability department. And because the core activities at NMPC is injurious to the environment, they decided to, put a leg forward to say that, look, even though we do this, we'd like to be sustainable so that we can cut down on our carbon footprint. And so while I was speaking to some of the directors there, we came up with something, an idea that we're currently working on that'll simply, in spite of the fact that they carry out these activities that are climate insecure, help their own staff become more climate friendly in their practices. And that was simply a platform that was gamified in the sense that each staff of NMPC, for example, uses this platform and they're able to account for what their current carbon footprint is and then engage in some participation on the platform. And with doing that, especially in terms of waste management, power utility, water management, and all of that, cut down actively on their carbon footprint. And so you can see that even though the company, the corporate organization as a whole, are contributing to carbon emissions, they can really say clearly that we have these things in place where we document how much we reduce our carbon footprints. Okay? And so you see that the first thing here is the corporate climate leaders, mentors, the mentors and the mentors drive interdepartmental sustainability, the green champions, and the eco starters. The second case study is the Wayham project. And what this is basically is something that directly maintains the heritage of Africa as a continent. Some of you may be aware that the Nok terracotta, which is about 1,000 years old, before BC, tokenization, for example, NFT purchases, auctioning of arts, and all of that. And these things happen even as we speak. XR mapping and the likes of them. So the benefits of gamification in governance will directly spell out, and this is a research by McKinsey in 2023, 33% participation increase, lower costs for engagement campaigns, tech talents building storage pipelines, and policy adoption through user incentives. The big vision will directly bring about digital inclusion, climate literacy, tech for good, and the creative economy. Now to innovators here, who are seated in this hall. Build with people at the center. Again, this is easy because the rewards are clearly spelled. It is easy because the rewards are clearly spelled. To policymakers, incentivize behavior and not just compliance. Okay? And to donor and investors, fund engaging, scalable, and impactful systems. This is how we drive sustainability in our environment. Imagine that investors are not just funding startups or ideas that are injurious to our ecosystem, that are injurious to our environment. Imagine that sustainability and climate compliance, climate security compliance is a key factor, that is considered when investments are to be made. This directly ensures that startups, ideators, are already thinking about sustainability as they plan their businesses. Okay? So as we see today in our current demography, in our current environment, that we have a lot of young people who would rather sit down and tap on their phone to generate points or tap on their phones to generate tokens. Why don't we simply gamify the everyday experience? Why don't we simply build our platforms in such a way that people get value and benefits as they engage with them? This is currently the way of things. Facebook and other social media platforms are currently building such that as you engage with promotional materials on Facebook or on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on any platform that so charges for these services, you get a token, you get a share of them. Whether you're a government here, whether you're an innovator, whether you are currently building a startup, whether you're at ideation, it is time to start thinking about how to include reward in your system. Because as Africa is a nuanced economy, which does not directly comply with how the West or Europe entirely go about their businesses. In Africa, when you come to invest in Africa, when you come to find startups to invest in Africa, a couple of things really quickly stand out. The first of which is the fact that one person that you know can lead you to numerous ideas that are fundable, and the guarantee that he gives can go a long way. That's one. Really, really quickly, incentivizing processes. Again, because most people are first of all looking at whether or not there are direct values to gain from platforms. If you can create reward systems and tie them to what you're working on, and it's interesting that we have innovators here, and tie them to what you're currently working on, direct reward system, then it is easier and much quicker to make the impacts that you desire. Whether you're in fintech, whether you're in agri-tech, edu-tech, health tech, wherever you find yourself or whatever field you're playing in, it is easier to get the engagement that you require, and by inference, the impact that you seek when you can tie direct rewards, to them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my speech today. If you don't take anything home, remember that the times have changed. And again, if the music changes, so must the dance. Thank you very much, and that's my presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raphael. Please, can we put our hands together once again for Mr. Raphael? And now we are going to take some showcase from a few of our sponsors. But before then, I think we should take a goodwill message from the office of the ONDI. We have Amina Bello Katago for the goodwill. Please put your hands together for Amina Bello Katago.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please permit me to stand on the already existing protocol. Distinguished guests, innovators, funders, tech enthusiasts, and our gracious hosts here in Katsina. It is both a privilege and an honor to be here today, representing the Office for Nigerian Digital Innovation, ONDI. A dedicated special purpose vehicle of NITDA, National Information Technology Development Agency. I bring warm greetings from our National Coordinator, Victoria Fabumi, and our entire team working tirelessly to empower Nigerians' digital economy. Let me begin by saying how truly inspiring it is to see this energy in the North. AREWA Tech Fest is not just an event, it's a bold statement. A statement that innovation, talent, and digital transformation are not confined to any region. They live and thrive right here in Katsina, in Kano, in Bauchi, in Gombe, in Sokoto, across AREWA. But for innovation to grow, it needs more than talent. It needs structure. It needs support. It needs vision. This is exactly why the Nigerian Startup Act, which was enacted in October 2022, is such a game changer. The act was co-created by the Nigerian government and the startup ecosystem to solve some of the biggest challenges that innovators have faced for years: lack of clear policies, limited access to funding, regulatory uncertainty, fragmented government support. The Nigerian Startup Act, NSA, is now the legal foundation for a thriving, well-supported tech ecosystem. It empowers startups, protects innovators, and encourages investment. At the heart of implementing this act is Office for Nigerian Digital Innovation, ONDI, under the supervision of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA. ONDI coordinates all activities around the act, from onboarding startups to the portal, facilitating incentives, verifying ecosystem players, and enabling the formation of the Startup Consultative Forum and the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We've built the Startup Support and Engagement Portal, where startups across Nigeria can register, apply for the startup label, and access a wide range of benefits, such as tax incentives, grants and soft loans, support to participate in public procurement, credit guarantees, access to the 10 billion naira Startup Investment Seed Fund, and engagement with regulators, accelerators, and investors. Over 13,000 startups have already registered. Over 950 venture capitalists, nearly 1,900 hubs, incubators, and angel investors. And yes, many of them are from the northern Nigeria. Why is it important for us here in AREWA? Because the potential is massive, but it must be unlocked. Too many promising startups in the North still struggle with funding, visibility, and support. With the Nigerian Startup Act and ONDI's programs, we are working to change that. We are organizing roadshows, across the North, onboarding innovation hubs, and training youth. In fact, one of our goals this year is to activate more hubs across the 19 northern states. So we don't hear from Lagos or Abuja only. We hear from Zaria, Dutse, Damaturu, Birnin Kebbi, Zamfara, and so on. This act was not made for one region. It was made for Nigeria. It was made for you. So what can you do today? If you are a startup funder, visit www.startupgovernment.ng and apply for your startup label. If you are running a hub, incubator, or innovation program, register on the portal and join the consultative forum. If you are an investor or just passionate about building the future of the North, come talk to us. The government is now listening and acting. At the Office of Nigerian Digital Innovation, we are committed to ensuring no funder is left behind. That includes the brilliant minds here at AREWA Tech Fest. In closing, I want to commend the organizers of AREWA Tech Fest. You are building more than a tech event. You are building a future where the next Flutter Wave or Paystack might come from Katsina. Let's work together, government and ecosystem, North and South, public and private, to build a digital Nigeria we all can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think this presentation has really answered a lot of questions around ecosystem building in Nigeria, right, based on the platform that the ONDI is managing. And now we are going to listen to the team from Fal Gates Foods, one of the lead sponsors. Abdullahi Musa, Marketing Officer, Fal Gates. Please stand together for Abdullahi.
It's one of the rice milling company where was located at Kaduna State during our father, our former governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. It's our privilege here to tell people that he is the one that commissioned our permanent site in Kaduna for that opportunity. Falgate Foods is a rice milling company that produces rice, different variety of rice. We have different products. We have like pal jollof, pal gul, asad rice, and other grains. This is a pal gul. I believe that everyone here is eating rice in his house. So we come with the variety. Even you are eating jollof, fried rice, white rice, we are here for you to give you whatever you wish. So we are in exhibition stand. Everyone, we need you to come and patronize us. We have different packages of the rice. We have 5 kg that everyone can afford it. We have 10 kg, 25 kg, 50 kg. I believe everyone can buy our product. And it is a very good and quality rice. And it is a northern Nigerian product. We believe that we are here in AREWA Tech Fest to grow our product in AREWA for this information technology program. So thank you everyone. We are here in exhibition. If anyone wants an inquiry for us about our product. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Everyone eats rice in their house. I love that statement. We're now going to take Mr. Benga Adegbiti from Genicel Geniserve, Mr. Benga, for a brief goodwill message. Mr. Benga, a deputy from Geniserve. Please, let's welcome Mr. Benga with an applause.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Excellency, the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who I admire so much. I think I had the privilege of telling him that this morning. Thank you very much, sir. My apologies if I'm not able to understand, all the protocols and government functionaries that are here. But my very good friend and brother is here. In Aboyeji, it seems like almost everywhere we go, we meet each other. Thank you very much for attending this. It is my privilege to be here this morning. When we were given the invite for this event, I made it as a point of a kind of a compulsion for me to come. And the reason is simple. Someone said yesterday, the Honorable Minister, he said that technology or innovation has no postcode. And what that means is that there is an opportunity for everyone in the tech space. And I'm happy that, the AREWA Tech Fest is holding in Katsina. We are a proud partner to the Katsina state government, and through the IHS, a Tower of Strength, that's an infrastructure, a digital infrastructure company. We've been able to implement some digital infrastructure for the states. Yesterday, somebody mentioned all the implementation of digital infrastructure that have been built across the secretariat, the government house, all the government offices. That was courtesy of Geniserve Limited. It is a privilege to be here this morning. I want us to see the opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't know. I didn't write anything down, so forgive me if I am not as sequential as I should be. But I want to say that everyone that is sitting down in here, we have an opportunity. And the opportunity is that is being presented to us. It has no any form of background, irrespective of where you are from. Innovation, someone said yesterday, it has no postcode. So we have an opportunity to leapfrog development, in our individual state as AREWA state. And one of the things that I used to say, in an environment like this, is that, number one, government is the biggest spender in any state economy in Nigeria today. And so I want to believe that government is a critical stakeholder in developing technology and innovation, starting from digital infrastructure. And normally, enterprise, a lot of times people, we seek for investments, from private sector. But most of the time, private sector will not come if they do not have any reason to come in terms of something that will benefit their enterprise. And that is why it is important that for innovation to be deepened, government need to really take the lead in that. Now, I was privileged to be at the NVIDIA office some weeks ago, about 5 weeks ago, in Munich, in Germany. And when you see what technology, what AI is going to do for the future, you will be amazed. The good news is that as we are all sitting down in here, we can equally be a partaker of the next digital landscape. And that is what I think this Tech Fest is all about. I want to encourage innovators, I want to encourage entrepreneurs, I want to encourage people within the ecosystem of technology to take these opportunities as very, very, very important. The truth is, if our state government today will build digital infrastructure to every local government, there is nothing that says that we cannot have a tech hub. We don't need to wait until a big tech hub in Abuja or in Katsina or in Maiduguri is built. I think extending digital infrastructure such as optic fiber, for instance, to every local government headquarters, that will bring a lot of development into those places. State governments can also develop a kind of a small ecosystem within the local government, each of the local governments, put Wi-Fi in there, put fiber optic in there. Let every citizen, every youth within the local government, let them understand that when they go to this particular place, they have access to the internet, they have access to digital infrastructure. You will be surprised at the kind of innovation that will come out from those investments. And thank you. And this will be because of him, but because of you all. So I want us to celebrate this opportunity that we have, and let us embrace, this event. I want to thank the organizers. I want to especially thank my brother, Mr. Naufal. Thank you very much for inviting us to be part of this. It is a promise that hopefully, we pray, inshallah, by the time we will have Samfara next year, we will also be there and provide our support in any way we can. Thank you very much, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Please, let's appreciate him once again. I think his proposition reminds me of a kind of food festival that is being done in some parts of India. They call states, is it local governments or states, to cook foods with their based on the domestic crop that they are harvesting in their locality. They should create all kinds of recipes, and it becomes a contest. And that's how new, food varieties come up almost every year in that region. I believe you can liken this proposition of having innovations like an innovation fair, from all local governments, if it's possible. Thank you very much for that wonderful goodwill. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Muhammad Hassan, the Director General of Jigawa ICT and Digital Economy, and also Dr. Salisu Garba. You may please stand up just for recognition. The Technical Lead, Jigawa ICT and Digital Economy. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Jigawa. We know the contribution that Jigawa State has given to the tech ecosystem in northern Nigeria. Almost half of the startup founders I have known from the north have passed through the informatics school. Thank you very much for coming. Now I'm going to invite from Fidelity Bank, Isa Mukhtar, who is the Retail Sales Coordinator, Northwest 2, Fidelity Bank. Please put your hands together for Isa Mukhtar. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand on the existing protocol. However, I would like to specially acknowledge the convener, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. We really appreciate your being here, and we are grateful for the opportunity and the time given to us. Also, I would like to recognize the efforts of the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam, His Excellency Malam Dukwaratda, also for giving us the platform for hosting the event. Also, like I said earlier, I stand on existing protocol. I'm Isa Mukhtar, Retail Sales Coordinator, Northwest 2 Fidelity Bank. I will also like to reiterate here on this platform that we at Fidelity Bank, we are grateful for the opportunity to partner, the opportunity to come together, the opportunity to be a sponsor of this all-important event targeted at empowering the youth, targeted at giving the youth a platform to showcase what they have, targeted at projecting the future and bringing it closer to us, because the youth is the future, and you can only capture the future when you capture and empower the youth. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much for the platform. I would also like to re-emphasize that we at Fidelity Bank is a pro-youth bank. It's a platform for all. It's a platform that embraces and especially empowers the youth. So also, we have been part of this initiative. We have been part of this initiative right from Enugu State University as part of our CSR policy. And we will also continue to be part of these initiatives, part of these platforms that bring the youth together. So thank you very much. Also, I would like to use this opportunity to further bring to you our offerings at Fidelity Bank. We have a variety of products and services that are more especially targeted at the youth, which is the larger part of the population. We have a variety of savings, current, corporate accounts, and other products, which time will not permit us to emphasize on. But what I want to say is Fidelity Bank is a bank for everyone. Fidelity Bank is a platform for the youth, most especially. You are all here. You are part of this presentation. I would like to call on the youth to establish a relationship with us at Fidelity Bank, leveraging on this platform. And I assure you, you will have the maximum experience. You will have an experience to remember. Also, I would like to use this platform to talk about our Game 6 promo. Fidelity Bank is currently running a promo, Get Alert in Millions, Game 6. The promo runs from November 2024 to August 2025. So we all have the chance to partake in this promo. It is, the aim of the promo is to encourage financial inclusiveness and also to drive savings, to encourage us to save. While we save, we stand to get benefits from our savings. That is the whole aim of the Game 6 campaign. You save and you stand the chance to win millions from your savings as part of that is what the Game 6 promo is all about. As you are saving, your deposit is increasing, while for instance, for any multiples of 10,000 naira that you save in your account, you gain one raffle ticket. You gain one raffle ticket, which qualifies you for the raffle draws. We hold monthly draws to determine winners. At the end of the month, you stand to win 1 million naira. You could even win other prizes in the promo. So I would like to encourage all of us to open accounts with Fidelity Bank, leveraging on this promo, leveraging on the platform that is given to us. Let's open accounts with Fidelity Bank. Let's establish relationship with Fidelity Bank and continue to increase our savings and continue to increase our deposits. Thank you very much once again. On behalf of the branch manager, Fidelity Bank, Alhaji Sanu Magaji, the regional coordinator, the regional head, Northwest 2, Alhaji Muhammad Ahijo, and the entire team of Fidelity Bank, we say a big thank you for the opportunity. We say a big thank you for the platform that is given to us. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Fidelity, a pro-youth bank. I hope the youth are hearing, you have heard what he said. So please, I just want to notify the people around that place. There's a passage where people will pass to climb the stage from here. So just try to create some space for them, please. Just try to make some space for them, okay? All right, thank you. So, as part of the generosity from the organizing committee of the AREWA Tech Fest, there is a budget of 100,000 naira, and some of the participants are going to go home with some of that money. So from time to time, we will be calling out volunteers, anybody that thinks is up to the challenge, to come out here, and we'll ask them 3 questions straight. If they answer all the questions, they take 10,000 naira. And we are going to do that 10 times at intervals during the programs. So I think it's important that you pay attention. You pay attention to things that will be said here. It's just like a litmus test. All right? So we are just rounding up with the goodwill messages. We have just about 3. And I also encourage the speakers to please manage time, because after that we will take a poem, and then we'll go with the fireside chat with our undistinguished guest, Lua. So next, I'm going to invite Engineer Julian Dawood from Mothercat. Please put your hands together for Engineer Julian Dawood from Mothercat. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Julian Dawood. I'm a civil engineer at Mothercat Limited. I want to welcome Malam Nasiru Arifai with his presence today and yesterday at this event. And thank His Excellency Dr. Diko Umar Radda for hosting this event. I want to thank AREWA and Mr. Naufal for this great event. It's an honor to be here. Many of you already know Mothercat Limited. Mothercat is a contractor with a long history in delivering high-quality construction projects. Today, I'd like to highlight how technology is changing our industry for the better. We have brought some images that will be presented maybe now or later on the screen to show how much easier and more efficient construction has become using the latest mechanical construction equipment and tools. Within the right tools, systems, our work is now safer and faster. By safer, I mean is better planning, better monitoring, which reduces risks and lives. Faster, what I mean by faster is the automated part of our mechanical tools. You know, automation and advanced equipment help us meet deadlines. Digital tools improved precision and quality in our works. At Mothercat, we believe embracing innovations is a key to building the future. We are proudly to be part of this progress. Thank you again to AREWA for this great opportunity, and I wish everyone a productive and inspiring event. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for Engineer Dawood from Mother Cat. Okay, I have some good news. There is a technology enthusiast, a captain of industry amongst us, who also wishes to encourage this audience engagement. He added the sum of 200,000 on top of the 100,000. So this means that anybody that aces the 3 questions will go home with 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira. Audience, it's like the participants are not with me here. Please put your hands together for this gentleman. And now from Al-Zira'a Tech, I would like to invite the head of Agric Operations, Abba Fugura. I think it's Abba Fugura, Al-Zira'a Tech. Please put your hands together for Mr. Abba. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to stand on the existing protocol, but before then, I want to specifically recognize my mentor here, whom, even though he didn't know me, but I've always looked up to him whatever I'm doing. When I graduated from University of Maiduguri from the agronomy department, I don't know like what to do. Just like all other youths, I'm just looking for a job to do, maybe by the federal government or state government. But then I now relocated to Kaduna State. So joining Kaduna State, coming to Kaduna State, then I now embrace a program which is being sponsored by Kaduna State government under the able leadership of my mentor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. This program is codenamed CATSTEF, which is being organized by Kaduna Business School in partnership with Backup Industry. So I was part of the beneficiary, even though I'm not from Kaduna State, I'm from Yobe State, but there is not any bias. They recognized me, they admitted me, and I was proud to say now I'm a full-blown entrepreneur, agronomist, courtesy of my mentor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. Thank you very much, sir. I've never had the opportunity to thank him, but now I see it's an opportunity for me to say thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm very grateful.
I can pull out 10 just by name. Your Excellency, permit me to acknowledge the presence of Hausa Guy. He is here with us in this room to support this movement. Hausa Guy is a famous influencer. He has been shaping the narratives online about Northern Nigerian development. Hausa Guy, you can show yourself for recognition. Thank you very much. And now it's time that I invite the Executive Director of Future Map Foundation, the person of Ahmed Shuaib, who is going to be facilitating the fireside chat with Mr. Alhaji Eyin Olua Aboyeji, one of the cabals of the tech ecosystem in Nigeria. Please put your hands together for Ahmed Shuaib. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Why is
We've just witnessed the arrival of His Excellency Malam Farouk Lawal Jobe, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thank you, sir.
the convener, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who has received all the accolades today and duly deserved for putting this platform together. I'm going to highlight something very interesting during the course of this session today with Ian, based on a response he made a couple of years ago regarding the absence of a tech platform in northern Nigeria. The executive, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, all dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I stand on existing protocol. It's my singular honor to host this fireside chat today with none other than Ian Aboyeji. But before I do that, I would like to ask a question to the entire audience. How many of us here have used a platform called Flutterwave to settle transactions, to buy power units? How many? By show of hands, please. So the person I'm about to interview today is one of the co-founders of Flutterwave, one of the unicorns of Nigeria. So Ian Aboyeji is the co-founder of Andela, a talent development platform that is also a unicorn. He is a co-founder and the first CEO of Flutterwave. He's currently a general partner and co-founder of Future Africa, and also a co-founder and chairman of Talent City and Accelerate Africa. When you hear people talk about the Lagos fintech mafia, they are talking about the Ian Aboyejis of this world. So please give a round of applause and welcome Mr. Ian Aboyeji to the stage. Thank you. Ian, are you comfortable? You need to put it on. So you take this.
I think we've managed to make it work.
Use this.
You can use that one?
Yeah.
Okay, go get a mic. Hello. Sorry about that. Okay, fantastic. Very comfortable. My brother, it's funny you're calling me Lagos fintech mafia when I'm not even from Lagos.
Yeah, we all know you claim, you always say you're from Ilorin and you're a northerner. We actually genuinely accept that. We're going to ask you very important questions
regarding your presence in the North and Lagos, basically.
Yes.
So, once again, very interesting about you is that people don't know that you're a lawyer, actually.
Yes.
You read law, you didn't read technology. So I will start my question around that. I don't know if you're an accidental entrepreneur as well, because everybody knows Malan Nasser has been an accidental himself. But quickly, you've had an incredible journey,
Yes.
co-founding two of Africa's unicorn in Andela and Flutterwave, and now leading Future Africa. So can you take us back to the early days, basically, and share what initially sparked your brain to get into entrepreneurship, particularly tech, looking at the fact that you are actually a lawyer?
Absolutely. So yes, very much like you said, I am a failed lawyer. I went to do the pre-law. I didn't manage to spend 1 week in law school. So I went to law school, I ran away. And indeed, I am, I would say, very much an accidental entrepreneur. Very much like my mentor here, Malam Nasir, His Excellency, who has been an inspiration, and we've been together for many years. I don't know, there are a few people that I knew when I was 17, and Malam is one of them. And I'm very grateful to him for his mentorship. But so how did I get into this business of technology? I wanted to be an international diplomat. I wanted to work for the United Nations. My belief was that was where all the problems of the world are solved. And I had seen my country had so many problems. I would need an authority higher than, the president to solve the problem. So he would tell the president what to do. I didn't really understand how the UN worked. So I had an opportunity to go work at the UN as an intern. I was part of this organization, and I went and I worked really, really hard. But for the first time, as I saw what it actually meant to be an international diplomat, I started to realize that it wasn't what I thought it was. My colleagues will come to work, stroll into work around 10:30, 11, and then by 2 o'clock, they will take their lunch break. There was this place called Vienna Cafe in the UN. It was just there, precocious 18, 19-year-old. And they said, once they get there, I'll just see all the Europeans. They will just be smoking, chain smoking and drinking coffee. And I'm like, okay, when are we going back to work? He said, no, that's the end now. And from there at 4 o'clock, the building is empty. Me, I would come at 7:30, grateful to be given the opportunity to work here, eager to produce papers and briefs. Anyway, I realized that diplomats are very lazy. So I then went back to my university disappointed. I went into journalism. I ran the school newspaper for a while. And then it was while I was running the school newspaper, there was a young man, a Polish Canadian, who I was going to school in Canada at the time, a Polish Canadian guy. I met him on the first day of school. He had long hair, and he walked up to me and just on the first day of school and just said, hey, can I stay in your dormitory tonight? My dormitory is not ready. Can I stay in your hostel? I told him, look, I couldn't afford to live on campus. So I'm in the basement somewhere. Are you okay with that? He said, no problem. So that's how we became friends. But the way my school worked, there was something we used to do called cooperative education. So you would go to school for 3 months, then you would spend 6 months working, then you will come back to school 3 months, 6 months. So it was during one of those 6-month stints I went to the UN. So we lost touch because of that, because he was never on the same stream I'm on. One day, as I was coming out of the newsroom, I bumped into him in the courtyard. I was, Pierre, where have you been? What happened? He said, I went to Silicon Valley. And in fact, I actually dropped out. My father told me to come back. I went to work in Silicon Valley for a guy called Joe Lonsdale and this. I said, Silicon Valley? Yeah, we're building software, this thing. Now, up until this time, I was using Facebook, I was using Twitter and all that. But I never thought that young people like us were the ones who made it. It's like how you know they make soap, But it's never really your business how soap gets made. You know what I mean? At least until recently. But, you know, this young man was making this important software with all these important people. I was very inspired. So I started to follow him. So I tell him I couldn't afford the school had an entrepreneurial residence. I couldn't afford to live there. So I just used to go there and visit him every time. I met a lot of people. Vitalik, I met Vitalik in 2010. I met someone very, very Eric Mikugovsky. I met so many people that are now very famous today. I met them then, and I would say that was the experience that changed my life. I'll just end on with this story. You know, one day, I had this young man beside me. The school now eventually created a workspace for entrepreneurship. And by the way, the school has a long history of producing dropouts that end up building big companies. My school, University of Waterloo. One of the biggest alumni, almost alumni as they call them, was a man called Mike Lazaridis, who invented the BlackBerry. So my school BlackBerry was all at the shore of my school. I used to work there myself to assemble phones when we needed extra money. But I had this friend. He sat beside me in something called the Velocity Incubator, which was the largest free incubator in the world. And he was building a technology that, you know, now people call them smart lockers. If you go with Amazon, you can punch in a code and it allows you to pick up your package. The guys who invented that technology, they used to sit right beside me. And one day, you know, we're all just working on our startups. Then I was working with Pierre on a startup that sold past question papers to students. So we're all just working, and one day I came in. We used to have this joke that if you want to succeed in startups, you have to work 5 to 9. So 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And the only reason why that was because you had to take a bus. People like me who didn't live inside the entrepreneurial premises or on campus, we had to take a bus from where we were, and the buses started running from 5 a.m. And the last bus was by 9 p.m. So if you miss that bus, you have to sleep in the office, which might not be very comfortable because it was very cold. So I came in at 5 a.m. and I noticed that my office was tape barred. So they had put tapes everywhere. I was very worried. I thought maybe somebody committed suicide there overnight, because sometimes the pressure can get to you. So I walked back to Tim Hortons, the coffee shop, and I just waited there. Next thing, another friend of mine came in and was like, "Have you seen the papers this morning?" I said, "What was my business with the papers? I'm trying to build my company." He said, "Look at it. Our friend just sold his company to Google for $30 million. And then later we were now told that, the reason why they taped it was so that we wouldn't corrupt their things while they were moving them upstairs to the Google office." But that left a lasting impression on me, because for me, I was like, if these people, they were beside me, they were just friends, we're next door. If they could sell their company for $30 million, I know this thing is possible. I just need to figure out how. So that's how I became an entrepreneur, you know, from jumping from one company to the next.
Thank you. That was quite interesting. I think that makes me skip my next question. I'm moving in to double down on you on this. About a year ago, I was privileged to listen to you during a particular session in Abuja, and the moderator asked you a question, and I'll quote, "Why haven't you been investing in the North, being one of the biggest VCs?" And your response was, you're also from the North, particularly Ilorin, and you said, if you check the top 10 richest people in Nigeria, they are most likely going to be Northerners. And you don't see a lot of them being angel investors. That's one. Number two, you said there isn't a platform that you could go to in the North to say there is a cluster of startups, of businesses, of young people trying to innovate that you could go to genuinely like Yabatech. How has that changed since then? Looking at AREWA Tech Fest, thanks to the convener, Mal Nasru El Rufai, are we going to see you come down to the North to invest?
So first of all, one of the beautiful things about this type of questions is you two, you're listening to yourself. So here was I saying, well, there are all these 10 Northerners on the list, and they're not investing. So me too, I won't invest. But I'm in the line of business and I'm a Northerner. So am I not just indicting myself? So the first thing I did after I answered that question was I went and repented. So
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think the platform doesn't exist at the time, but we have a platform now.
Yeah.
And it's growing. So I am saying, with that change, are we going to see Future Africa?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we're going to see more of Future Africa. So I think the first thing for me is a lot has changed about how the knowledge that builds startup has been diffused. Because all of a sudden, those of us who were Northerners pretending to be Lagosians, we've had a few incidences where we were reminded that somebody can remind us where our father's house is. So we've all started to have the conversation to say, come. We've built Lagos a lot. We need to now start thinking about where we come from. And the first thing was, okay, fine, there isn't anywhere, even though there are places. Kaduna was one of those places. We invested in Sudo. We've probably done proportionally, we've invested in Kaduna more than most other states outside of Lagos in Nigeria when Malam was there. But we said, look, what is happening there is good. Let's find other places, because sometimes you want to bring in the global ecosystem players and they will start telling you about security and this and that. So I said, okay, fine. Security is your problem, Abi. No problem. Let's build in other places. So since that time, Future Africa partnered with Ilorin and with IHS and CC Hub, and we've been working in Ilorin Innovation Hub.